The following program is brought to you by Johnny's Radiator Shop. For auto repair and air conditioning parts to fit everything under the sun, visit johnnysradiatorshop.com.
Coach Hembree, glad to have you with us. We're still playing football, still here in the playoffs, and I want to start out with the Blytheville game last week. Before that game, you told us they might be the best fifth seed team that you had seen in a long time, and they were a good football team, and they were a tough battle. Talk about the game. Lumberjacks came through, but talk about the game.
Yeah, I know. You go back and watch film and see and watch. We had, you could watch all their games obviously on YouTube or wherever, and you see how they played with Middleton early, and Middleton won 35-30, and then Pocahontas, who was their conference champion, and they had 5 turnovers and still only lost by 10 points. Had the ball inside of 12 4 times, and then Gosnell beats them on the last play of the game, and then then we go watch them play Rivercrest, and they have a bunch of guys that wasn't dressed out. 99 wasn't dressed out, 7 wasn't dressed out, 4 wasn't dressed out, and you could just see that that they knew they were a 5 seed, and they might have been banged up a little bit, and they came in ready to play. I thought they did a really good job, and I thought their coach did a really good job of getting them ready to play, and they were really physical up front on both sides. We knew defensively that number 99 was a really good football player, and we had trouble. I mean, it was just they hit some passes that they have not hit. They threw it up, touchdown right before half. I've watched them be wide open, and they throw it up and they wouldn't catch it. And against us, we got him kind of covered, and they throw it up and they were able to catch some. And we knew they were fast, with 2 and 22 back there in the backfield. And, they're very athletic. They were a very athletic, 5 seed that played really physical.
Well, but your kids responded. A tough battle, but they finally kind of put the game away at the end. Talk about what you feel about your performance.
Our kids knew, man. Our kids knew that they were worried. I think they even came in Sunday and said, "Coach, we were worried that if you watched them on film, you could tell they were very athletic and very physical." And so I thought we just kept playing. Very offensively early we did well. We didn't run the ball like we wanted to, but I thought Maddox kind of settled down. DeAndre had a great game catching the football, and then defensively Maddox. I don't know how many tackles he had. I think he had over 25 tackles. He was just all over the place defensively, and he's our leader out there. And they're just defensively, we just did what we did. Did what we could do to get them on the ground. And that it's going to be another tough test this week. But last week, it's over now. We advanced, we survived, and now we got to turn the page and go to week 2.
Well, let's just go right into that. This is a familiar foe this week, Stuttgart. We pretty well, the last number of years at least, have opened with Stuttgart in a regular season, although they're a 4A school like us, non-conference, different conference. And I think this is probably not the first time we've had to play them twice in a season, is it?
No, it's the 5th time that we played them in 3 years. It's very familiar with each other. Always a great high school football game, and they're very dynamic. We know it firsthand. We went over there on August 26th, and number 6 played PlayStation on us. We talked about it. He was all we thought we'd have him stopped. He'd reverse field, and the one we didn't know about or didn't know how electric he was number 4. The Clark kid. We knew Cedric Hawkins. We've been chasing him for 3 years now, but the new dynamic was their quarterback. He hit us early on that scramble that went down the left sideline, and they're a really good football team. We know what we're getting into. We know that their speed and how well they run their offense, and then defensively, number 17. It's like he's been there forever. He gives us fits every year we play him, and he's so fast and so quick. And he did some things to us on some short yardage stuff last time that really hurt us. And then they're physical inside with number 50 and 51, who I expect back this week to see. He's a big old guy. So their 2 inside guys are really physical, and then the Cedric's twin brothers is at corner, and it's just like they've been there forever. They're all 3-year starters, and it's going to be a tough challenge for our kids. And the thing about it is, like, we know what we're getting into. They know what they're getting into. It's not like that we don't, the last three games that we played them, it's come down to the last series. You go back to week 2 last year, and they're driving to win the game. We get an interception, run it back for a touchdown, and then in the playoffs it's tied up, and then we're fortunate enough to get a turnover there late and be able to go score. And then this year, obviously, they beat us 31-28, and it's always come down to one or two plays. And the thing about it, you don't know what them plays are, so you got to play every play, and you got to be really good at it. We got to do a lot better job tackling. That's obvious. If you go back to week 1 or week 0, and we didn't tackle very well at all, and if we don't tackle very well, it's going to be a long night for us. And our kids understand that, and they understand that. Last year in the playoffs he spurted one, but we did a better job of consistently getting him on the ground.
Well, I have to think we're a better team than we were early in the year too. So,
and they are too.
Both teams probably would be. Yes.
Yeah, you can say that, but both teams are. Both teams has got a lot of games under their belt now, and then when you go out and play week 0, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but both teams are pretty vanilla. You're not sitting there trying to scheme stuff up, and you're kind of just doing what you do and seeing where you're at. And they were doing the same thing, and now in week 12, you're going to see a whole different football team on both sides as far as what you're doing, as far as scheme, and as far as what you're doing, as far as just different stuff. And we know that going in, and they know it going in. It's not going to be anything that either one of us can trick the other one on, and it's just going to come down to whoever executes the best and whoever can tackle the best. And as far as we're concerned, is whoever can tackle the best, as far as if we can tackle them or not. And they've done a really good job of doing what they've done. They lost guys too. Week 1 they lost 2 starters against us, and they came back like 3 weeks ago, and then I think they lost another one against Star City, and they lost another one the next week against Newport. And so, they go to Harding Academy, they're without 6 starters. So, we know how that feels. And it's hard to compete at a high level when you're missing so many guys.
Right. Well, this should be one of the bigger games in Arkansas, certainly for Class 4A this week in the playoffs. I want to remind everybody that you do have to buy your tickets in advance, if I'm not
online.
mistaken. And we've got that information on the Saline River Chronicle as well,
okay.
So people can do that, because I think we'll have a big crowd there.
I hope so.
We need a big game.
Yeah, we need it. We need, these kids need it. I mean, we need to have I tell our kids all the time. You're not just playing for yourself. I mean, you're playing for this community. You're playing for everybody. It's wore the orange and black, and this is a huge ball game, and it's big for our kids. It's big for our community, and we know Stuttgart's going to turn out. They did week 0, and it's going to be a great high school atmosphere. It's going to be cold, and in November, when you're playing in November, you got to be, I thought we handled that very well last week with the rain and stuff. I think we only had 1 turnover maybe, but they only had 1 turnover too. So I thought both of us handled the weather well, and so. And, I'm excited. Our kids are excited. We just got to, go execute what we got, the game plan and see what happens.
Well, this is what you play for, isn't it?
No doubt. It's what you work all summer for, and it's just unfortunate that we play Stuttgart, and I know they probably feel the same way we feel, but it feels like it's like every year we got to, even back in 2016. We had to go through, Stuttgart. We had to play them week 2, and they were really good. We played them earlier in the year, and last year we played them earlier in the year. Had to play them in week 3 of the playoffs, and now here it is again. It's like we play the same teams over and over and over, and we know each other so well, and it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Well, let's again just make sure everybody's up to date. The game is this Friday night here at Warren. That's the good news. We get to play at home, and should be a really big time Arkansas high school football game. And we urge all of our fans, let's come out, be there, support this ball club, and see if we can make another step forward. I know the kids will give it all they got.
Yeah, thank you.